Hi everyone, this is part 2 of a 5-part 15-minute yoga class series. Today we'll be working on standing poses and the alignment for the legs and feet. Our standing poses ground us to the earth, creating a tremendous amount of strength and stability. They create more range of motion in the legs and the hips and allow us to learn how to hug in towards our midline. So we engage the muscles in the legs, drawing in from all sides. And when we do that, we then learn how to use our muscles to move the bones, creating more space and freedom. So rather than thinking about your practice as gaining more flexibility, see if you can approach it more from a standpoint of creating more space and freedom in your body. And then the flexibility will just come naturally from there. So let's begin. You're going to need one block and a strap. We're going to place the strap around the top of the thighs and the block between the lower legs. Let's stand up and do that. Okay, now that we're standing, we want to place our strap around the top of the thighs. Once you place it there, you're going to tighten the strap so it's tight enough that you can press your thighs against it, but not too tight that it's constricting. Then take your block and place your block between your lower legs on the medium width. As you place it there, put it right at the meaty part of your calf muscles, and then stand up, bringing your feet parallel and your hands onto your hips. Slightly bend the knees. Spread your toes and feel the weight evenly placed through the four corners of your feet. And then start to move your outer shins back. And as you move your outer shins back, then begin to squeeze the block from the back of your legs, of your lower legs, so that if you look down at your knees when you do this, your kneecaps will widen out ever so slightly and line up with your second toes. Keep hugging the block with your shins and begin to feel how that creates this muscular engagement. Learning how to engage the muscles to move the bones. Now bring your attention to the top of the legs. Keep hugging the block with your shins. Keep your knees slightly soft, and then engage your thigh muscles. And then press the top of your thighs back towards the strap and then out towards the sides of the strap. Not necessarily an easy thing to do. It takes some practice, but as you hug the block with your shins, you create the opposing action of pressing your thighs back and outwardly. So it creates a feeling of broadness in your hips, broadness in your lower back. Just do that for a couple more breaths here. Hands on the hips, hug the shins in, and press the top of your thighs back and out into the strap. Good. So now we're going to take it into a forward fold or Uttanasana. I'm going to turn to the side. Again, hug the shins, hug the block with your shins, and then start to press the top of your thighs back. As you press your thighs back, shoulders back, begin to fold forward. Come all the way down, place your fingertips on the floor. You can do it with bent knees. Hug the block with your shins, press your top thighs back. And then come back up, hands to your hips, slowly. Squeeze the block so your leg muscles are engaged. Try it again. Hug the shins in. Press the thighs back and out into the strap. Lengthen your spine and come forward and down. You can have bent knees or straight legs. Inhale, come back up, hands to the hips, and rise up. Let's do that one more time. Hug the block with your shins. Press the thighs back and apart. Lengthen your spine and come forward. Place the fingertips on the ground. Keep working the leg actions and then come back up. Hands to the hips, shoulders back, come on up. Good. Now we'll take chair pose or Utkatasana. The same actions apply. Hug the block with your shins. Press your thighs back, extend your arms forward and start to bend your knees. Press your hips back into the strap. Watch that the knees don't come too far forward. And then stretch your arms up. Take 2 breaths here. And then inhale, come on up to stand. Release your arms. I'll turn to face you and we'll do one more. Hug the shins in. Press the thighs back and apart, extend your arms and sit down, chair pose. Check that the kneecaps line up with the second toes. And then press the top of your thighs out into the strap. Stretch your arms up to the sky and take 2 breaths. And then slowly on your inhale, stand up. Exhale, release the arms. So now we'll remove the props and take downward facing dog. Okay, so now we're going to come down onto the mat and take downward facing dog. As you come to downward facing dog, keep your knees bent at first and pretend as if you still have the props on your legs. Make sure your feet are parallel and then bend your knees and begin to hug the imaginary block between your shins. Keeping your knees bent. Look at your knees and make sure now that they're in line with your second toes. And then press the top of your thighs back into the imaginary strap and then out towards the sides of the strap. And breathe here, pressing the thighs in back and out and hugging the shins in. And then you can keep your knees bent or slowly work towards straightening the legs. Now bring your knees down to the mat and step your right foot forward for a high lunge. You can use blocks under your hands if you need a little extra height. Lift the back knee. Make sure your feet are parallel and about hip width distance apart. Spread the toes and engage your leg muscles. Place your hands on the top of your right thigh. Push with your hands and curl up to an upright position. Bring your hands to your hips. Pretend that you have the block between your shins and hug in towards your midline. Yet at the same time, press the top of your thighs out into the imaginary strap. Then reach your arms up to the sky and take 2 breaths. Come back down and take downward facing dog once again. Bend your knees. Hug the outer shins in towards the imaginary block and press the top of your thighs back and out into the imaginary strap. Bring your knees down and step your left foot forward for your second side high lunge. Start on your fingertips, lift your back knee. Spread your toes and engage your leg muscles. Come on up slowly, hands to the top of your left thigh. Now press your hands into your thigh and come to an upright position. Bring your hands to your hips and hug in with your shin. So what you want to watch for in your high lunge here is that your front knee tracks in line with your second toe. Sometimes the knee tends to go inward. So press the knee out and keep engaging that action of hugging your outer shins in to align the front knee with the second toe as you stretch up. And then come down and switch legs. So our last pose is side angle pose or Parsvakonasana. We'll take a wide stance and start with the feet parallel, the hands on the hips. Then turn your right toes out and turn your left toes in and bend the right knee. As you're bending the knee, look at the kneecap and make sure it's tracking in line with the second toe. Now bring your right forearm on the top of your right thigh and draw your shoulders back, open your chest. Now press the top of your left thigh back and out towards the outer seam of your pants. You can even place your left hand at the top of your outer left thigh and press the thigh against your hand as you descend down more into your right hip. Take 2 breaths here. And then inhale to come up and switch sides. Turn the right foot in and turn the left foot out. Bend the left knee, bring the forearm on the thigh. You check that the left kneecap tracks in line with your second toe. Press the top of your right thigh back and out into your right hand here at the outer thigh. And then keep pressing the top of the thigh into the outer seam of your pants, yet bend the front knee more. Draw your shoulders back and breathe. And then slowly inhale and come on up. Turn your feet parallel and then bring your feet all the way back together. So that's the end of our standing pose sequence. Continue to practice what we worked on in the previous video for the feet and begin to integrate the actions of the legs and feet together. Until next time, namaste.